up, guys? Welcome to week number 7 of off-season training. Still working on the pause dead variations from last week. During warm-ups, everything was moving pretty well. Was able to get nice and locked in and feel fast. But for some reason, by the time I got up, tried to go and start my sets at the 500 top set that I hit last week, just wasn't moving quite like how I liked, so I decided to still try and beat my volume from last week, which on my pulls and pull variations was somewhere around just a little over 19,000 pounds. So I ended up going a little over 20,000 this week, but I did it via 8 working triples with 405 instead of trying to push for fewer sets with a little bit heavier weight. So still made some progress, but I kept the weight in a place where it was moving like how I wanted it to. That was the 500 single that I decided to just kind of shut it down. So the rest of these sets here all moved pretty well. Was happy with the work that I put in, and that's really about it. Nothing super exciting here. This is definitely one of those days where I had to kind of keep myself from wanting to just shut everything down because it didn't really feel good. But I think that the extra technique work and still putting in, 24 quality working reps will still benefit me in the end. As you can see with the pulls here, I am still doing a good job of driving with the legs and holding my back position. However, I feel like I still not quite as lined up as I was last week when things were moving just a lot quicker. So I'm trying to find that balance between getting a good amount of leg drive without letting go of the drive from the upper body, but then also still keeping some speed off of the floor without just pulling from my back like how my typical deadlift pattern is, and still driving the lockout from the hips instead of overextending from the lower back to correct. So there's a lot of things going on that I'm working on. The balance of that then also being not to sit and overanalyze every single set, but that just kind of reinforced the need to make a call for a little bit lighter working weight this week, and then maybe try and push weight up a little bit more next week with fewer sets. So still keeping true to the underlying goal of increasing my volume from session to session and still focusing on building technique. I ended up following the pause sets with just a couple of doubles at 315 and 405. I was trying out just an idea that I had with the setup of kind of rocking into the bar first, almost to the point of tipping over, but using that to kind of pre-tension the glutes and the hamstrings. And this is not that set. That'll be probably that next one that you see that. And you can see that I ended up getting some good speed with it, but I don't know, we'll see. My hands were also fried. I decided to turn my calluses down the night before, which usually doesn't affect me, but my hands hurt a bit, so I was being a bitch. But so I ended up strapping up for some of these. But here you can see that I'm trying to really wedge myself into the bar and then accelerate through the lift. So we'll see how this ends up carrying over by the time that I get to my my regular competition style pulls from the floor. I think I'm still fighting positioning just a little bit here and was still sore coming in from Monday. So we'll see. The goal always is to get better in some way. Kind of one of the things that we talked about on our podcast this morning that this workout happened was keeping in mind all the different ways that you can progress from session to session instead of just more weight on the bar or a bigger 1 rep max or just looking at those variables. And one of the things that I kind of discussed there was the fact that we can add weight, we can add reps, we can add sets, we can add volume, but you can also do the same weight or reps with better technique or with better speed. And so that was kind of the mentality that I carried into this session, is just remembering, maybe today isn't supposed to be a heavier day, but that doesn't mean that I can't improve in one of those other aspects. So that was kind of the underlying theme of this workout. I ended up following with 3 sets of 8 stiff legs with 315. Next week I will push the weight up on these, but just still trying to get some more work in on my glutes and my hamstrings. So really emphasizing that lockout with the hips. So followed this with some upper back work, some lat pull downs, some sets of 20 on the glute ham raise, and shut it down. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out my Facebook and my Instagrams. And as always, if you're interested in any of the programs we have at the gym, www.savagegym.com is the place to go. Alright, take it easy.